So working freelance is something that I have been doing for nearly a year now, and I'm absolutely in love with it. I love my lifestyle. I love the fact that I can spend time with my family, and I know for a fact that there's a lot of animators out there, a lot of artists out there that would love to work freelance for a number of reasons, right? Maybe you actually want to work for the dream studio that you always wanted to, but perhaps you are, on the other side of the world. Maybe you would like to actually kind of like be free to actually spend time with your family and friends and still get a high salary that actually allows you to live comfortably. So there's many reasons why you would like to actually work freelance. I'm here to tell you guys how I go about it, what I've learned from my experience, and hopefully share with you guys some tips on how you can also work freelance. So let's get to it. Now, if you haven't seen me before, if this is the first time here in the channel, well, welcome. First and foremost, my name is Harvey Newman. I am an animator. I have been a director for many years. I like to share my passion for animation, games, game development here in this channel with all of you. So when it comes to freelancing, it's an incredibly difficult subject matter because if you really think about it, there's no straightforward way for you to get started. With anybody else, if you actually get a full-time job or if you actually work part-time for somebody, you normally fill out an application or you actually go ahead and start a process working with an agency, and then eventually you actually go through the steps that the agency tells you or the company tells you until you get a yes or no. Now in freelance, there's no clear way of where you get started, so it becomes really complex for you to know how can I freelance if I don't know anybody that does it, or if I don't know any company that is interested in my services as an animator or an artist, right? Now, here's what I think that you guys need to keep in mind before you actually start looking for a freelance job. The best way to go about it, and this is how I've done it, and this is how I think you should do it, is for you to learn how to become a little bit of an entrepreneur. So if you follow the steps of any entrepreneur, anybody that created their own company, you start to find out that they know how to market themselves, or at least they learned how to market themselves. And for you to be the best freelancer possible and get the most jobs, you need to know how to market yourself. So by that I mean, go to social media, start posting not only your work, but also the things that you've done, the things that you're passionate about, so people can start having a feeling for what kind of person you are, right? Because you don't want to be searching and applying for jobs all the time. Your ideal scenario is for you to be out there so much that people come to you with a job and say, are you available to actually come and work for us, right? And then that actually starts a process of them trying to sell themselves to you, which is actually quite nice, because then after a certain point, you start to saying yes or no to certain projects when you actually get going, right? So this is the power of you marketing yourself. Another thing that helps you when trying to market yourself is to create a really professional website that actually showcases who you are, right? So if you are called Peter, and Peter is an animator, and he is an animator that has been doing a lot of things, then do have a website page that on the main page says, I am Peter and I have done these things over time. Here's an example of my works. I'm available to work right now. Contact me here, and make it super clear how people can reach out to you and actually start connecting with you in the best way possible. And then, especially in the beginning, do connect with people that you know that can give you opportunities. So if you know of any company that is looking for part-time animators or artists or whatever all the time, then connect with them on social media, connect with them anywhere you can, go to events if you like, in order for you to socialize, for you to network, and then make yourself known, right? Because in the beginning it's really to get going, but once you get going, then things get much easier. The second part of the equation is for you to actually be a professional, right? Be somebody that is there always on time, somebody that is consistent in the work that they perform, and also in the quantity, quality, and how long they take for them to perform their work. Because what you want to do really is, whenever you get a client, let's say it's your first client, is for you to actually not only do a very good first impression, but also to actually have a lasting impression that this person is not only reliable if I call on them, but also they can over-deliver on anything that they actually say they're going to do or that we need them to do. Because if you kind of put yourself on that category, then it means that they will most likely call on you whenever they need anything else that resembles the work that you're doing right now. So then you get a client that stays with you for the long run. Now, the third part of this equation and last part, it's actually payment. Now, being a freelance, because you, especially in the beginning when you actually are so eager to get just anything at all, you need to make sure that you are paid fairly. So if you know anybody that does freelance in the same area that you do, 100% speak to them and ask them how much were their rates when they get started, how much are their rates right now, so you can actually have an idea of what you should ask for. Because it doesn't matter how good you are or how reliable you are, if you are asking for more money than you actually deserve, especially in the beginning, based on your experience, based on the things that you've done before, most likely you're going to get turned away. Make sure that you actually ask for a number that is doable, but it's also fair, not only for you, but also the company, right? When it comes to money, and this is an important point, when you work freelance, you don't have the cushiness of working for a company where you get paid holidays, you get, if anything happens to you in any ways, they take care of you, you don't get any insurance, you don't get any like pension or anything like that. You are working for yourself, so you have to pay for everything yourself. You need to be smart with your money. You need to build a little bit of a stash of money on the side for any fires, anything that happens. And most likely in the beginning, you're gonna have peaks of work, that you're gonna have lots of work, and then you're gonna have no work whatsoever, right? So that's why you need a stash of money set aside. So if you have 2 or 3 months that you have no work, you have enough money that can take you through those 2 or 3 months until you find your next gig, and then you start over again, right? So you have to be very clever with the money. Once again, don't overcharge, don't undercharge for sure, but when you get that money, especially in the beginning, live comfortably, and then whatever you get extra, stash it up. Good 3-6 months of actually savings for you to be comfortable and be able to sustain your freelance lifestyle. Now, as a bonus, I have an extra thing that I can give you guys that is going to actually make your life a little bit easier when it comes to looking for freelance work. Now, I am currently an animation supervisor at Agora. If you are an animator, most likely you know it for the Agora community. They are also an animation agency where they actually do animation work for different companies around the world. They have a massive amount of talent. A company like Agora will actually save you time to actually start your freelance life, right? You will be able to basically be a part of their talent pool, and if you are really good and you have a good show reel and all that stuff, most likely they call you, and then you get to work on different projects, right? And these projects are going to be sourced for you by Agora, and then you can say yes or no, and then you can go off and start working. And that is all I had for you guys. If this video was useful to you in any way, consider subscribing, hitting the like button, and definitely comment below with your thoughts. If you have been freelancing, what do you think? It would help the community out there here in the channel. And if you haven't been freelancing, most likely you have lots of more questions. So if you'd comment below, I can answer some of them, and then we can start talking. And before I go, I cannot forget to give you thanks to all my Patreons, people that have been supporting me on Patreon every single month. If you haven't so far, if you're not part of the group, the cool crew, then make sure to actually check out Patreon, because there's lots of perks, lots of nice things that you can actually get there. Free sticker for anybody that actually joined, doesn't matter the tier, and you actually guys get to support me in this channel every single month, and all the money goes back to this channel to make sure that I can make more content for you guys with a lot of quality. Okay guys, that's all. I hope you guys have a great rest of the week, and until next week, stay well, stay safe, peace.